It's been a while. I hope you still remember me, and I hope I didn't really, put you guys aside for too long. Uh, I've been sick for a while. I mean, I'm getting better, but still not 100%. But here I come. I'm gonna do a little bit self reflection on my 2021. Yes. So I normally would do things like that. I mean, a few years ago, probably I will write things. I mean, I journal a lot, and I will even post the pictures, and I will make my resolution, things like that. But then I figure out, my life is not that exciting, and there's not much going on uh, every year. So I really didn't have much to talk about. And then I kind of feel tired of doing that because everybody's doing that. I feel like I'm trying to catch the trend, but no. And then my life is just pretty much very blended to the point where I didn't have much to sum up by the end of the year. So, but this year is a little bit different. There's still not a lot to talk about, but there's definitely one thing I really want to share with you again, and this is something very unexpected. Um, I never thought about that. So yeah, so in the beginning of the year, I was still working from home and I really hated my job. Back then, I just didn't know what to do with it. I mean, I needed money because this guy costs a lot of money, but I got a lot of time with him because I had to work from home, which I really appreciated. Um, so I was trying to tell myself that it is okay. You need a job. You do what you can. Try not to think too much. But most introverted people are very sensitive and they want to get everything right. And when they can't, and they feel like it's their fault. And that is me. So when I can't get things straight, when I can't get things right, then I feel like I'm not capable of doing this job. And then I feel like it's my fault. And then I started blaming things on other people. And then I feel like, why didn't you follow my instructions? Why didn't you follow my rules? And then I got to the point I just kind of like driving myself nuts. That's when I started realizing that there's something wrong with my mental health. And I remember one day I went to a park with Bob, and there was nobody. Beautiful weather. It was sunny and a little bit breeze, and everything was so perfect. And you can hear bird chirping. And Bob was running crazy, and I felt like life is good. But all of a sudden, at that moment, there are crazy thoughts hating me at that moment. I feel like, why am I living life like this? And I feel really, really sad. From nowhere, in the middle of the schoolyard, I started crying, and that's when I booked myself a therapy session. Um, well, you're a poor girl, didn't have much money, so I can't really go on do the paid session. So, fortunately, they have free therapy sessions for Ontarians. So I started trying to do that, and I started trying to be friends with my emotions and feelings. Started to acknowledge there are negative things that I have that is not bad. And I am not trying to shame myself to say, wow, you were not supposed to have that. But that's when I really kind of paid attention to mental health. I think making money is very, very important. For a long time, that is my goal. So I think I can take so many jobs, and I have my this full time job, and then I have side hustles, and I'm just trying to make as much money as I can so I can be happy, and then I have that financial freedom to buy whatever I want. That will also make me happy. But to that moment, I realized, sometimes making money is not the only goal. You still have to care about your own life and how you feel about your surroundings, including people, animals, and other things, and even your hobbies. If you don't feel happy about it, then you lose the point of living your life. So I was like, yeah, that's something I should take care of. And then I started taking this a therapy session. And I mean, it's not a fancy one. You will have a chance to talk to her. And plus, I don't really like to talk to people over the phone. I think it's either in person or through text messages. So I chose text messages. COVID, you can't really go anywhere, right? So everything is uh, being connected online. And so that's the way I chose. But they could not respond to you immediately. It's more like you can leave your concerns, questions, and then they will get back to you when they see the messages. So that's some things I learned, but I also kind of liked it because I don't feel like I have that obligation to do it. Well, that's a funny thing about me because every time when I feel like it's mandatory to do it, then I feel like I can't do it, and that's why I'm trying to making videos some sort of my hobby, not my obligation. Because once it's part of my job, then I'm gonna start hating it. So anyway, that's something I learned about my mental health. I think even though making money is important because you still need to pay rent, you pay your mortgage, if you have a car, things like that, and your bills. Those are the things you just can't live without money, and especially if you want to have a relatively good life. And yeah, that's definitely number one thing to number one thing, number one goal to have. But then you will think about how can you make use of the money to make yourself happy, and then that's another thing you should think about. And that's what I learned is sometimes you have to be a little bit selfish. uh, I learned from work, also from my colleagues, and they were really happy. They were really helpful and supportive when I was talking to them because I never thought about people would care about your own problems, especially about your mental health, right? So I started talking to them about my students, my concerns, and sometimes my struggles. And then they were like, well, you should, care less. And just think about job is job. You should not care about that too much because once you leave the job, then you have your own life. You think about your own life. And I was like, hey, never thought about that. And then that's also another thing I learned, that to be a little bit open to other people. I know. So there's the funny thing is, how do you know you're introverted or extroverted? And that's a new concept to me as well. Is not that you like to talk to people or you don't like to talk to people. You're outgoing or not. It's actually, are you open to other people? When you're able to talk about your feelings to other people, you're actually not extroverted, introverted. When you're always hesitant or you're afraid of talking about your emotions, your stories, or even some private things to other people, and you are too introverted people, yeah, person. So I used to be like that, but then I just don't want to bother people with my own problems. You know what I mean? Then I started being a little bit more open about that. Like when I have problems at work, I'm more willing to ask my colleagues or my leads and then see if they can find a solution for me instead of me carrying out every single thing, right? Trying to find a solutions to them. So yeah, and that's what I learned. You're gonna ask people, and of course, asking is always a very scary thing to do, especially if you're introverted, because you're gonna be like, people are gonna say no to me, and I don't like being rejected, and whatever they say no to me, and then things like that. You will be always worried about potential problems, and then you lose the chance of asking for help, even asking for opinions on certain things. So that's what I learned. And you just ask. It's actually, well, even they say no, then what? You're not going to get hurt. Well, you might get hurt, kind of mentally, but you know what I mean. It's not like the end of the world, right? So that's what I really learned at work, that you gotta ask when you don't know things. Never assume this might be the solution. If you assume that's the solution, you might do something wrong. Might not be serious, but by the end of the semester or by the end of your work, you're gonna feel really terrible because you would say something. I could have asked someone for help. Could have been done a little bit more perfect than that uh, if I asked, right? But so that's what I learned now. Every time when I want to do something I don't know, and I would definitely ask someone who knows or someone who's more experienced, and I will listen to them. So they will give me good opinion. Then I can make my own decisions based on their opinions and suggestions. So that's the first thing I learned. And the second thing I learned is actually from Bob, which is really funny because wow, you know, this guy has his own philosophy. What I learned from him is you're just gonna do it. Eventually, you will see the results. What is the saying that when you just have to cross the bridge when it comes to it, when you come to it. Yeah, yeah, that's so. Here's the thing. When Bob was really little, I think probably like a 10 months old, we went to a friend's party, and then they had a really very nice swimming pool. So I was joking that I hope Bob is not going to dive in. And of course, your little tiny Bob went in the swimming pool right away with no hesitation at all. So of course, it was like very deep end, and then he went. He kind of did like a somersault, and then we grabbed him, and since then he did not like water. Not like he did not like water, he does not like to walk in the lake water without his feet touching the ground. So that's what he is. We were always trying to get him to start learn swimming or just do swimming because he's a lab. He's supposed to like water. Um, it is very hard for him, and I took him, and that was my first time taking him to the ponds here. Well, there's ponds here. First, because he's not a calm dog, and sometimes he's too curious about everything, and he will be looking for things and dragging me. Well, sometimes I feel like he's going to drag me through all our hike. Anyway, so we got to the lake. I let him go. He kind of touched the ground. He liked the water. He walked in the lake, loved it. I was really trying to get him to go a little bit deeper, further, and of course he didn't like it. So we spent a whole summer there. From he was a little bit afraid of walking or kind of like trying to be, oh, I can, oh, no, I can't, to the end that I was really panicked because he was chasing a rubber duck or rubber pumpkin or something way further to the point I was kind of having a heart attack. So I had to call his name, like, come back, come back. And he was so persistent, and he was so stubborn that he said, I'm going to get that thing. So he was kind of in the middle of the lake. And I was like, if something happens to him, I don't even know if I'm able to save him because my swimming skills pretty suck. Anyway, so I learned from him is just don't even think about it. If you want to do it, you start doing it. By the time you do it, and then you're going to learn a lot of skills. You either achieve it or not, but the process will teach you a lot, and you will enjoy the process. You will learn that, you experience that. Everything is your own story, and then good or bad. By the end of the year, you can tell people, say, oh, I have this terrible story, I have this funny story, I have this, really nice story to share with you. It's all your own story, and you gain experience. That's when I started taking workout more seriously than before. Because, well, I'm always very active. But I figure out if I want to do it, I just start doing it. Not instead. So I walk him every day, 3 times a day. Mm. Other than that, I do yoga. I do other things, and by then I wanted to have a nice shoulder line, and I want to have, I can show my collarbones and things like that. I want to have a nice jawline, things like that. But I've searched for a lot of workouts to kind of help you, improve your posture, things like that. But I was never very consistent with what I was doing. So in the middle of the summer, I was very stressed about my work. So I started doing skipping. From I was tripping myself to probably can do like 5, 6 skips, and then trip myself. Then I probably could last like 5 minutes because my stamina was so bad. So to the point, and then every day 5 minutes. Then another week I will add 5 more minutes. Then another week I will add 5 more minutes. So 4 months, my skipping skills were really good to the point I could do 30 minutes straight with no break. Yeah, so I was very happy about it. But But I was just doing it to release my stress. I never thought about, losing weight or getting nice posture or even getting a nice abs or things like that. But by the end of my, I think, month or so, um, workout, skipping workout, and I found out I have muscles on my arms, I have muscles on my back, and my posture has improved a lot. So I was able to stand straight, and then my shoulder lines are straight, and everything is just to the point of like, by the end of everything, it just all come together, and then that's what I learned from Bob. You just don't think about the results. What you need to do is to get it started, and that's it. And then be consistent. Yeah, of course, be consistent. So I'm really happy about it. Another thing, probably the last thing I will finish this, and the last thing I learned is to be friends with my emotions and feelings. And you guys, most of you guys probably know that I've been reading the book from Brene Brown, Last of the Heart. I really love the book. I think that the book has really taught me how to be friends with my own emotions. I normally would really deny my negative emotions and I would be upset about it because I feel like, oh, how come I'm down again, and how come I have this kind of jealousy, how come I have this resentment, things like that. I was always upset about having negative feelings and emotions. But because of that book, I started to realize that you need to be friends with all kinds of emotions. They're not bad and you can't deny their existence. They're there for a reason because they will show you are a person, you're a human being. You're supposed to have all kinds of emotions and feelings. You're supposed to have ups and downs, and that's life, right? Life is full of ups and downs, and yeah, and you can't deny them. The moment you deny them, and you are denying yourself, and you're not going to be friends with yourself, and you're going to hate yourself, and you're going to hate everybody around you. So that's what I learned from that, and I started to analyze my feelings. I'm happy, of course. Why am I happy? Not trying to be crazy, be a nerd to analyze my feelings. Oh, why are you happy today? But it's more like I'm happy because I accomplished this, I achieved that, or I did something really good. So I know there's a reason for that, and then I'll keep doing good things. When I have bad feelings, for example, jealousy, right, or envy, we talk about that in a previous video. I think so, or in my mind, I forgot. If I haven't, I will talk about that. And I think I have to realize where it comes from, why I have that kind of feelings, and what is the trigger. And then I will work on the trigger instead of just thinking about my feelings. Feelings create thoughts, thoughts create behaviors, all sorts of things. If you have negative feelings, you're going to create negative thoughts, and then your negative thoughts will kind of create your negative behaviors. Instead of thinking about why other people have what I have, what I don't have, I will think about why am I jealous of those people, because I want them. I want the things they have, or I want the things they have and also want them to not have it. Things like that, and I'm working on it. I feel like when it comes to negative feelings now or negative emotions now, I don't really hate myself being having such a thing. So I'm more peaceful. I mean, I'm still upset because, wow, I just don't have the $60 million to do whatever I want. But I'm more like, I have it or not. I'm okay with it because I don't have it. Of course, I'm going to feel bad. I have it. Of course, I'm going to feel happy. That is normal. It's not something that will really destroy me. And that's how I learned about being friends with them and all sorts of things. I can't hate other people, but I will also tell myself why I hate them, and there are certain reasons. And are those reasons reasonable? I'll do a reality check, right? So you can't hate someone and say, "Oh, she's so beautiful that I just hate her." Well, unless you have money to do plastic surgery, which I highly not recommend. I highly don't recommend, but it's something that you have to listen to your heart to think about why you have this, and you set a boundary between you and other people, and you want to keep yourself in a safe circle, that is totally fine. You can do that, but you also want to be a little bit socializing because we're social animals. We have to be acting like that. Not that there's a choice, because when you acting like that and when you feel like people are nice to you and you're nice to other people, you feel happy. I used to be very antisocial. I'm still a little bit antisocial, but I realized that the after whole COVID thing, I went back to work. I started talking to my colleagues. Sometimes I'm not really kind of enjoyed that part, but I like it. I like being able to talk to people, share stories, asking for help. I am learning from them, right? So, and that is something I'm like, yeah, you're not only being friends with your real people, your friends, you're also being friends with yourself as well, with all kinds of things, right? Good things, bad things, you're friends with them because that's a part of you. So that's what I learned. Yeah. And I think that's pretty much everything. There are some things I thought about. I wrote a whole giant notes here. I have no idea. I will post that notes here, and I have not. I talked about everything but that. Because my notes and my video um, are never a match. So anyway, but that's what I learned about this. For the new year, what I want to be is I want to be more brave. I want to say no more because that's also, oh, I forgot. Okay, one more thing to mention is another thing I learned is I said no more often than before. So I used to be when people come to me when they ask for help, it doesn't matter if I'm busy with something or not. I will always say yes to them. I will put my 120% of effort to help them solve the problems. And then I feel exhausted and then tend to find that they're not really grateful for what you've done because they thought, you are a problem solver. They come to you for granted and then they will ask you for help for granted and you solve their problems and they think, well, of course, and that's why we came to you. But now back to our being selfish is, if you're already selfish, so then skip that part. But you have to be a little bit selfish because you want to have yourself as a whole. You want to be happy. You want to be happy, then you can be happy with other people instead of complaining things and whining about things after you help them, right? So that's what people normally would have. The kind of problems people would normally have is you help people, but you still want to complain about it. So, oh, I gave up all my schedules or stuff to help him, and he was like that. So then don't do it, right? If you have to give up or sacrifice yourself to help other people, then don't do it. Finish your tasks first, right? Help yourself first, and then think about other people because you have to be a person at first, and then you can think about how to help other people. Never sacrifice uh, yourself because you're not going to be happy about it. It's too exhausting to do things in that way. So that's what I learned when people come to me. Can I do this? I will think I'm trying my best to help them, but I also will explain to them that why I can't do it because I have a lot of things. Not like I don't want to help you, just because I can't. Uh, I'm physically unable to help you. So, and you know what? Results actually turned out very good. And then oh, okay. And I am not tired of helping people anymore. And they are actually happy about it because I'm being honest with them. So for my new year, that's my another goal. A goal is to be straightforward, to say what I need to say in a nice way. Don't be rude. Um, and also think about how to be yourself. I know that's very difficult to say, and it's more like, well, of course, when you say it, it's so easy. But I think try to be yourself as much as you can because, if you can be yourself, you're not going to be happy about anything or everything around you. Um, that's what I learned from myself. It's hard, especially in the environment when you have your parents or other friends, or the social pressure is just so much that you can't really be your true self. So what I learned is my parents are still learning too. Is I can still be myself. I will explain why I'm doing this. There are reasons. They listen or not. there are reasons there, and that's why I behave like this. I'm not a bad person, and I'm just trying to be myself, and I'm not trying to hurt anyone. I'm just trying to be myself. I want to be happy. When I'm happy, I feel happier to talk with other people. I feel happier to engage in more activities. And that's how I keep myself from depression. If I am not happy and I will really just dwell on all bad things, and then I become depressed. And that's no good for me at all. So, yeah, that's why I'm saying that be yourself is very important, not just because you can be unique, it's because it's really good for your own sickness. Sickness? For your own sick. Yeah. And I'm not done yet. And there's a very, very important thing I haven't talked about it at all. I can't believe it. So I wanted to be a vlogger. I still kind of want to be a vlogger, but I never a good vlogger because my life is so boring that I just don't have much to vlog on. So I started doing my 7-day challenge, right? That's a big change. I'm so sorry that I forgot about that part. 7-day challenge for my conference. I did in August. I really enjoyed it. I was very, very proud of myself back then because after the presentation we had Q&A, and there are people from all over the world from very famous universities. We got together, we started talking about things, and they asked me questions. I was able to answer all sorts of questions. They were nodding their heads. They were very happy about it, and they were like really impressed by my research and findings and other things. And then I feel like I was capable using the language to deliver knowledge to the world. So I was very happy about it. And then that's when I got popular on social media. I first posted on Xiaohongshu, and I thought, because nobody was paying attention, and that's a good chance to do it, right? So you don't want people to focus on your awkwardness. So you started doing that there, and then people started to like it, and so that's a really good way to practice your speaking. And I was so happy that I was able to encourage a lot of people to do it, because you know what, it is a good way to practice your speaking if you don't have anybody to practice with, or you are really shy, you just don't want to talk to other people, and talking to camera is definitely a good thing to do. I got popular and I got a few comments. Back then, I don't really have many followers. I got a few comments about, can you continue to do this? And I really love this kind of videos because you have a topics, we listen to it, we learn things, and it's not very serious. And I was like, hey, you know what? I can't be a content creator. I can't be a vlogger, but I'm pretty good at doing English stuff, so I may just started doing that. And I started doing my coffee corner. I always uploaded the videos at Xiaohongshu first and then Bilibili. I didn't really care Bilibili that much because I only have 4 followers, including my dad. Then I had 5, then I had 32. I remember 32. And then since then, everything just took off, and I couldn't believe it. And then I got sponsorships, not sponsors. I got people to come to want to sponsor my videos, which I said no. And then people started following me. People started to share my videos with other people. I never thought about I could have done something to help other people, have a little bit influence on you, and then I was thinking, I'm doing something really good, good for me and good for everybody. And I never thought that, making video to help me with my own language will also help other people. What I like the most is when I see comments that say that you gave me a lot of confidence. Now I'm really confident, and something like I want to do this. I feel like there's a lot of I've achieved a lot of improvement. I'm very happy because I am not a very confident person. I want to feel confident, and I know it is very hard when you are in this society because people are constantly judging you. in many ways. And it is hard to be brave to say, I don't care. But I feel like what I'm doing here now has that a little bit influence on people. And I want them to feel confident. I want them to be able to say, I understand your videos that make me feel so good. uh, I got inspired by your videos. I want to start doing the same thing. And even some people started, we chatted about certain topics and then chatted about like language problems, things like that. It makes me really happy because I want this channel to be encouraging, to give you confidence, give myself confidence as well. So yeah, I can't believe I forgot the most important part. But anyway, thank you so much this year for all your support, for all your like, and for all your comments. I'm very, very grateful, and so is Bob. I hope next year we'll continue and we'll grow together and we'll get better together and we'll be confident together. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything because my computer actually, not computer, my camera actually shut off for a bit, and then that's when I know this video is too long. I will, stop right here. I hope you really enjoyed this video, and I wish you a very happy, delightful New Year. I hope New Year we can all do something different. Just one thing that you really want to change. I saw this from. Netflix show Pretend It's a City, right? So she says that challenge is not something you make up. Challenge is something you have to do it and you're going to face it and do it. So think about the challenge next year that you have to do, you have to face it and start from there and trying to be yourself and overcome it. And that's something that you may want to do. Thank you so much and wish you a very happy new year. And I'll see you soon. Peace out.